let's jump from here and talk about the evidence tampering.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Check this story out. This will blow your mind. St. Louis prosecutor ordered crime lab to reassemble Patricia McCloskey's gun. Assistant Circuit Attorney Chris Hinckley stated in charging documents the gun was readily capable of lethal use. The only problem...
Oh, man, I need my Trump button. Wrong. I can't
Excuse me. Wrong.
Wrong.
We definitely got to get those buttons.
I need it.
It's coming.
It's
It'll be here soon. It
Yeah.
actually should have been here. It could be
It
here.
actually probably is here, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to dig for it.
Yeah, we need to
I'll
open the
look
box.
for it. I'll look for it tomorrow.
So, for those that aren't familiar because you live under a rock, there's a couple of people. They're married, and a bunch of Black Lives Matter people. I don't know. Whatever you want to call them. What do you want to call them?
I don't know.
It's not a protest when you break on a private property and destroy property.
We need a new word where it's not a protester, it's not a rioter, but it's like it could go either way. Really, like, you know what I mean? It's like right the middle line between a protester and a rioter, because that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, the issue is when you say riot, you imagine people running around screaming, smashing windows.
Violence,
When you
yeah.
say protester, you imagine a bunch of like hippies with like sunflowers dancing and saying like peace and
Peaceful,
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, really the problem is there are Black Lives Matter protesters that are only wanting to protest peacefully. And it's like, I see that. But then there's these people that hijack it and steer it and make people whip up the emotions and you know, start violence.
Listen, man, I gotta just
Take
say,
over.
if there's a dude and he's like, hey, everybody, come with me. We're going to go protest wealth inequality. And they go, yay. And then he leads them into a bank and goes, everybody hit the deck.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. And they go, yay. You're all bank robbers now.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be like, I didn't know. I was a peaceful protester.
That's really good. That's funny.
You'll get charged. Yeah.
Oh, here's all these words. Oh, look at all these, what is this? Angry mob. Yeah, angry mob.
Assemblers.
Yeah.
Assembler.
Assemblies. Yeah.
That's good.
I
I think mob is good. It's an angry mob.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, because an angry mob might not be doing anything violent. They could just be angry and mobbing.
Yeah.
And this was like, so they entered private property, and at some point someone broke the gate. We don't know. It wasn't before, because there's actually video where you see them open the gate and everyone walks in, but it was private property. I read that thread. I got that thread from Eric Schmidt.
Yep.
According to the AG, the moment they
boy.
walked into the private property, he could have just started blasting.
Yep.
Fair
He could
game.
have gone full Danny DeVito. Bam, 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 bam. You know?
Per Missouri law, the Castle Doctrine state, like they could have shot all of them.
Yeah, just
And been like, get off my property. No, you're coming closer to me,
Dude.
Boom, 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 boom. They could-
not. It's worse. It's like better. I think worse
It's
than
different.
that.
It's more than that.
According to the AG, you can use lethal force to prevent imminent threats to yourself or like, you know, danger to yourself.
Yeah.
As soon as they enter your property, they went into a private community.
Yep.
The guy was on his porch. He could have went like private property, bang, bang. Anyway, he didn't do that.
Nope.
He did not do that. But they came and they took Patricia McCloskey's handgun. She was the one waving the pistol at everybody.
Yeah.
Turns out it was inoperable. Here's what they say. The gun Patricia McCloskey waved at protesters was inoperable when it arrived at the St. Louis Police Crime Lab. But a member of the circuit attorney, Kim Gardner's staff, ordered crime lab experts to disassemble and reassemble it.
Whoa.
And wrote that it was, quote, readily capable of lethal use in charging documents filed Monday. 5 on your side has learned. Good local journalism.
Yes.
You guys rock. This is what journalism is.
Yes.
We looked at the documents. We uncovered evidence tampering from
Boom.
the state.
Boom.
Boom. That's speaking truth to power right there.
Yes, it is.
In Missouri, police and prosecutors must prove that a weapon is readily capable of lethal use when it is used in the type of crime in which the McCloskeys have been charged. Assistant Circuit Attorney Chris Hinckley ordered crime lab staff members to field strip the handgun and found it had been assembled incorrectly. Specifically, the firing pin spring was put in front of the firing pin, which was backward, and made the gun incapable of firing according to documents obtained by 5 on your side. Firearms experts then put the gun back together in the correct order and test fired it, finding that it worked, according to the documents. Patricia McCloskey and her husband have said the handgun she waved at protesters was inoperable because they had used it as a prop during a lawsuit they once filed against a gun manufacturer in order to bring it into a courtroom. They made it inoperable.
So they knew it.
Have you ever seen the movie Shooter?
Yeah.
With
awesome.
What's the
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Great movie.
Great movie. In the end, He walks into the hearing with like the feds, and they have the rifle on the table.
Do you trust me with your life?
You got to speak into the microphone.
Hold on, give me the room shot.
There we go. Okay, here.
Do you trust me with your life, Tim?
Yes, I do. All right. So it's Michael Pena, I think, is his name. Is that his name? The actor?
Yeah, he's great too.
Mark Wahlberg walks in and he pulls a bullet out and he puts it in the gun and he picks it up and he aims it at the dude and he says, "Do you trust me with your life?" And he goes, "Yes." And then when he pulls the trigger, nothing happens.
Right.
And then he puts it down and he says that he's removed the firing, or he
removes the firing pin on all of his guns.
He switched them.
Trust me, I've seen it.
My understanding is that he switched them so that you couldn't tell unless you had a micrometer.
Okay.
He said a normal person would see the firing pin and think it would work, but it's off. You need a micrometer to tell.
Nice.
Something like
right.
that.
Some really you may be right.
So
as
anyway,
painful as it is to say that.
But you guys might know because I remember something like that.
Now I got to see that movie again. I really do like that movie a lot.
Good.
It's
dude.
a good one. Yeah.
When he goes and gets revenge afterwards.
Yep.
Dude, that movie's great.
Good, yeah.
But anyway, I'm reminded of that when they're like, we used the gun as a prop. We knew it didn't work, and then they tampered with evidence
to make it work.
Look at this.
That blows me away that they're doing how dirty this is.
Seriously.
It's political.
Yeah.
They're trying to make an example. Morality policing.
Yes.
In the dirtiest way.
Look at this. Their attorney, Joel Schwartz, confirmed to Five on Your Side the McCloskeys intentionally misplaced the firing pin on the gun and that it was in that condition when Patricia McCloskey waved it at protesters and turned it in to their former attorney. Quote, "It's disheartening to learn that a law enforcement agency altered evidence in order to prosecute an innocent member of the community." Boom.
Wow.
Even a spokeswoman for Gardner says, "We can't comment on a pending case."
Right. And then we're even finding out that they had every right to shoot these people as per Missouri law. So they didn't want to shoot. They didn't want to shoot anybody.
Missouri castle doctrine is actually kind of scary,
Best
dude.
castle doctrine.
It is the strongest of all of the states, actually.
According to the AG.
That's what it says.
So I'm reminded of that episode of The Simpsons where Homer is told that if someone, I don't know, the Simpsons aren't in any definable state, but he's like, if someone comes into your property, you can kill them. And he goes, hey, Flanders. Well, it doesn't work if you invite them. Aw. And then he's like, get out of here. but that's part of what it reminds me of. Like the strength. So I've got this Twitter thread. Check this out.
There is a Springfield, Missouri, just for the record.
Yes, I know.
That's probably it.
Springfield, like probably 5 in one state.
Yeah, I know.
He says St. Louis prosecutor Kim Gardner is engaged in a political prosecution. I entered the case seeking a dismissal. As AG, I have a duty to protect the fundamental rights of all Missourians, including the right to keep and bear arms in self-defense of one's person and home. A thread. Now, he issued this statement before the news came out from Five on Your Side, which was updated today, came out in the afternoon on the 21st, a day later.
Yep.
I'd like to see what he has to say now.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that whoever ordered this, they should all be criminally prosecuted for conspiracy, civil rights violations. Josh Hawley announced he wants a DOJ investigation into the violation of their rights.
Yep.
Bring it on. Lock them up.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I agree. 100%. Let's do this.
This thread.
That's dirty.
Yeah, dude. This thread from Eric Schmidt is fascinating. He basically says 8 million times that this is a chilling effect on the residents of Missouri.
Yep.
That if you even consider protecting yourself, you may be committing a crime. And no one should think that.
Yep.
People need to know for sure that if you come on my property, I can act as I need to defend it, and I don't have to risk being scared that I've committed a crime.
Hold on. There's actually something in here that I caught. The reason why this, I would like to find it, but he says the reason this state, the Castle Doctrine, is so strong is for the black community. They put that in there because they wanted people of minorities to be able to defend themselves back in the day.
Here's what he says.
You got it?
The landmark Heller decision mentions its importance for anti-slavery advocates and post-Civil War firearms for self-defense was often the only way black citizens could protect themselves from mob violence.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah.
This is why they're look at this. It also says, the right was explicitly in Missouri's first Constitution of 1820, stating, quote, the right to bear arms in defense of themselves and of the state cannot be questioned.
Cannot be questioned.
It's not even about, look, the Second Amendment of the United States, you get the left arguing, well, it says well-regulated militia. Okay, we'll stop you right there, because in Missouri, it says the right to defend yourself, period.
Yep.
They have a right to have these weapons, period.
Yep.
Now, check this out. I want to go down to the actual, the statute he mentions. Section 56.031 specifically authorizes Missouri citizens and homeowner to protect themselves from illegal invasions and intrusions into their home and private property. It establishes 3 principles. 1. Missourians may defend themselves and others using physical force, including firearms, to deter the imminent use of unlawful force by another person. Unlawful force by another person, imminent, meaning the moment you walk on the private property, they can say, I feel threatened, bang.
And not only that, they were saying, that room I'm going to shower in. I'm going to sleep in that room. It's like,
well,
I read through what they were saying about it. It's like, that's pretty insane.
But you know what? You know why I don't mention that?
Because there's no video.
The McCloskeys say that's what happened, right?
Right.
And as soon as you bring that up, the left is going to be like, how do you know they said that? Well, okay. Then we won't bring it up at all.
Sure.
The moment they stepped on private property, the McCloskeys had every right to defend themselves.
As per Missouri law.
Listen, if you go in front of a jury, a real reasonable jury of your peers, and say, look at all of the riots and vandalism and looting and murder, the dozen plus people who had already been killed. Do you think it's fair to say we had reasonable fear of harm?
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
100%.
Did we have an operable handgun? No. Did they tamper with it to try and make you think we did? Yes. This stinks all the way.
Yeah.
Check it out. There's more, though. He says, 2. Missourians may use deadly force against a person who unlawfully enters or attempts to enter private property. That's the crazy part.
Yep.
They could be trying to, about to step on your grass. You're like, don't do it. If you raise that foot, bang.
Yep.
Now, of course, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
But if someone's at your door and they're trying to open it, you can shoot them and kill them in Missouri. You can be like, you're trying to enter my property, bang.
Whoa.
Bye-bye. Yeah. That's what's nuts. 3. Missourians have no duty to retreat from their own residence or property when threatened by an unlawful intruder. Further, the Castle Doctrine specifically shields Missourians who act in valid self-defense from prosecution for unlawful use of a weapon by exhibiting a weapon in angry or threatening manner under 571.030.1 parentheses 4. In fact, 57.030.5 states, it shall not apply to persons who are engaged in a lawful act of defense pursuant to section 563.031. They can't even charge them with this.
Nope.
The law specifically states if they are acting in any way on their property, this law shall not apply.
Yep.
Yet they did it anyway, and they altered the evidence to go after them.
Yep.
It's political.
Do you know what's going on in Seattle and in Oakland? Seattle and Oakland. The far left is showing up to politicians' houses who aren't bending to their will. So in Seattle, the council said, we're going to defund the police except for like 2 or 3 people.
Okay.
So what happened? The far left showed up to their houses and vandalized it. In Oakland, they went to the mayor's house and vandalized it.
Yep. Saw that.
I said it, man. They're going to start coming to your house. Now, right now, people are saying, yeah, but they're just tagging it up and vandalizing stuff, right? Here's what happens next. They went to Tucker's house, I think last year. We're banging on the door. Tucker says they broke it. They claim they didn't. I'm sure there's probably some damage, and they're trying to say no, and Tucker might be trying to act like it's more. I'm not gonna assert anything. That's what was said. His wife was hiding in the closet. She called 911. Cassandra Fairbanks. They showed up to her house in the wee hours of the morning, and they started firing fireworks, and according to Cassandra, some active gunfire. She called the police. They found the commercial mortar launching stuff. The neighbors confirmed it was happening. Mm-hmm. And they've done it before, so why would I act like it didn't happen? They went to the mayor of Oakland's house, and they did the same thing with fireworks. It's happening. Yep. They're going to your house. What happens next is it takes one person, while this is all going on, to run up and kick the door, and now the door's busted in. Then people are standing around the house banging on the windows, and one person peeks in the door and looks inside, and then someone sees that, and they think, hey, they're going in. They push in. This is how mob mentality works. One person will do one little thing, and then someone else will do one little thing above it, and then everyone adds a little bit to the avalanche, and before you know it, they come to your house, someone throws a brick, breaking the window. Someone runs up and pops the door open and runs away. Someone else goes up to the door and looks inside and throws a smoke bomb or a mortar. Then everyone sees people running to the door, and they all run inside. The next thing you know, you're being dragged out and beaten in the street. And people don't believe me. They didn't believe me when I said this was going to happen. When I mentioned that the violence is going to escalate, regular people are going to get involved, they're going to show up to your house, people were like, no, they're not. It's not coming to the suburbs. And then it did. And now they went to this family's home. This is where the morality policing kicks in. And the McCloskeys did literally nothing wrong. They are defended, according to the AG, to a ridiculous degree.
Yep.
And the law explicitly states, as he noted, the law doesn't apply to people who are acting in defense pursuant to this law, 563.031. Yet they charged them anyway.
Yep.
That's insane. Well, the good news is, I guess the McCloskeys are civil rights lawyers, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're lawyers. They know what they're doing.
So hopefully they go nuclear.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they're going to have the support of Hawley, the AG, and the governor.
Yep.
And President Trump, right?
Figuratively, light them up.
Yeah.
Figuratively. Got to make sure you say figuratively.
In this instance.
I want to see a tactical legal nuke. Because this is malicious prosecution. Malicious. They altered evidence to
Yep.
me. That look, maybe I'm not a lawyer, okay?
Yeah, when I saw that, like, I was taken back. Like, wow, like they're straight up being dirty. Like, they're changing. They're trying to get them. They're making an example of these two, to make sure that the rest of the citizens know, if you do this, we can throw you in prison. When they were well within their rights to do much more than they did.
Bill,
especially when they knew those guns didn't fire. They knew they were just like, stay away from our house.
well, I don't know about the rifle, but the handgun.
Okay.
I want to see to whatever extent we can get some real prosecution of these corrupt individuals.
Absolutely.
Eric Schmidt points out all these things. I got to point out, it shall not apply to persons who are engaged in a lawful act of defense pursuant to section 563.031. If that's true, and maybe he's leaving something out, I doubt it. He's the AG. We'll see how it plays out. I want to see criminal charges against every single person involved. I want to see the police officers who seized the rifle charged. 100%. Those cops that decided they were going to follow an unlawful order. Because let me clarify. If these officers violated section 571.030.5, which says that law shall not apply, if they violated 563.031, which gives them the right to self-defense by firearm, the police illegally seized their weapons.
That's true.
Just following orders is not an excuse. And on top of that, that sounds like a 2A violation too, because they broke no laws.
That's true.
They broke no laws, and the cops went and did it anyway. Those cops need to be held responsible, period. We cannot...
Everyone along the chain does.
Yeah, every single person.
Period.
I've seen so many videos of these cops saying, I refuse to enforce that violation of our constitutional rights. When Virginia was like, we're going to take your weapons away, you got to turn them in, all these sheriffs were like, nope, we're a sanctuary county.
We'll deputize you.
Yeah, we'll deputize people. We're not letting you take your guns. In St. Louis, where according to the AG, it is the strongest castle doctrine state.
Yep.
You have a right to bear arms in self-defense, period. Why would those police go to their house and take the gun away from them? Just following orders. Sorry, that's never been an excuse for Americans. Never. We talk all day and night about the Nuremberg trials. It was in Nuremberg, right? That's what it's called?
Sorry.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
the trial of the Nazis.
Yeah. We talk all day and night about how following orders is not an excuse.
Yep.
I'm not saying the guys lose their job. I'm not saying that they get locked up. I'm saying there's got to be some accountability for cops who violate the law.
Yep. Well, and then here, I'm going to read further into this. He says, the highly politicized prosecution of Missouri citizens for exercising their rights to keep and bear arms in self-defense may intimidate and deter other Missourians from exercising their fundamental right of self-defense. This case reflects the opposite of the state's constitutional obligation under Article 1, Section 23 to uphold these rights to keep and bear arms, self-defense, and protect against infringement. And it says, 2A shall not be infringed. In fact, this political prosecution sends a powerful and dangerous message. You exercise your right to keep and bear arms at your own peril. If you do, you may find yourself in prison. This case has a significance that extends well beyond the parties. He's right.
Let me ask
He's
you.
right.
Let me ask you a question. If I don't know, a couple of people are in their home and a mob shows up yelling and enters private property, at some point destroying this gate, and there's a history of violence associated with them. Is it oppression and fascism when you say, hey, get out of here, you're threatening my property? Okay, if a bunch of these far left extremists show up to a federal courthouse lobbing commercial grade fireworks and fire bombs and whatever at a federal courthouse, is that oppression?
Nope.
It's
wait. Nope.
Okay.
You had two questions, so
Right.
I wanted to answer them both.
So now we'll carry it on. If in response to the extremists law enforcement come out and say, disperse, you're engaged in an illegal activity. Is that oppression?
Nope.
Now, if the district attorney, I believe district attorney, whoever, Kim Gardner, whatever position is, files charges in violation of the law, and the crime lab tampers with evidence to manipulate it to falsely frame a couple of people who are legally defending their property, is that oppression?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And there we figured 100%. It out.
100%.
I found the oppression.
So we found it. We figured it out. Congratulations, everyone. We did it. We found out where the fascism is. It is, oh my, this is strange. I didn't expect this. The leftists.
It's coming from inside.
The leftists are tampering with evidence to falsely frame people who are legally within their rights. Well, this can't be. They're the ones fighting fascism.
Yep.
They were called Antifa. I thought that meant anti-fascism. They can't be the bad guys. It's in their name.
Whatever does it mean, Tim?
We've got some strange going on here. This certainly doesn't make sense. Wait a minute. Could it be that the people claiming to oppose fascism actually don't?
Whoa.
And this is the big point I brought up with the clearing of the Chaz. Bring it all back together with Trump, with the deployment of Operation Legend, with law enforcement. They say they want to defund police. They want to defund the police. Except in, St. Louis, where we're falsely prosecuting two innocent people and tampering with evidence to, put them in prison. They want to end these malicious jailings of innocent people. Well, except in St. Louis, where we're going to tamper with evidence to ensure we can lock up our ideological opponents.
Does that make...
They don't want to defund the police. Kind of. They want to get rid of the police now so that no one stands in their way.
They just want the power.
Exactly. When given the opportunity, they will falsely accuse you, frame you, and tamper with the evidence to make sure they win. Now, we could be sitting here saying, it's a good thing we have an AG and the governor, and we won't always. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.